the prosecution is doing a good job, and a lot of what they did that was good was prior to most of the testimony taking place. Some of the pre-trial rulings about anonymity of witnesses and how deep the defense can dive into the Epstein connection. They did a lot of that prior to the testimony. Once the testimony started, they did a good job in establishing, number one, a connection between Epstein and Maxwell, right? That's what they did when they put the pilot on the stand, when they put the housekeeper on the stand, right? Folks that could get up there and tell the jury, well, in the day-to-day lives of these people, Maxwell was intimately involved in all of the daily affairs, right? And the defense is going to have to somehow get away from that. And I feel like that's going to be a lot of what the defense strategy is. They presented a witness list of 35 people, right? And that witness list does nothing other than indicate to the court that we may potentially call all of these people, right? And they need to be over-inclusive in that list, because if they leave somebody off and then somebody needs to come in, then they could be precluded from introducing that witness. But I'm assuming that a lot of those witnesses will testify to the fact that there was some distance between Epstein and Maxwell, right? That she wasn't aware fully of everything that was going on, whatever that may or may not have been. I presume the witnesses will be twofold, right? The witnesses will include folks that created distance between Epstein and Maxwell, and the witnesses will include expert witnesses to challenge the memory testimony of the victims. They did it in Weinstein, they did it in Cosby, in the Me Too era, right? At the Time's Up era, as they say, right? You have prosecutions that date back 20, 25 years, right? And certainly any defense lawyer worth his or her salt will cross-examine a witness by saying, well, look, this happened all these years ago. You're dealing with high-profile people, people that have been in the media, right? You have consultants and lawyers and publicists and other people in your circle, and it's possible that your memory was now formed as a result of those things. Now, those defenses don't seem to fly very well at this juncture, but you never know. You never know. That will be a line of defense. Federal acquittals are extremely rare, right? Particularly in the Southern District of New York, they're extremely rare because the federal prosecutors in that district prepare cases very well. They investigate cases very well prior to indicting. I don't expect her to take the stand. Statistically, very few defendants take the stand. I don't anticipate she'll be an exception, because if she takes the stand and there's even a scintilla of indication that she's lying, or she's misstating something, or she's misremembering, or she's trying to mislead, right, then she's toast. So I don't know that her defense lawyers will put that on the stand. There's no doubt, right, at least in the minds of the jurors, that Epstein was seemingly the more active wrongdoer, right? Maxwell was the passive wrongdoer, not absolving her of criminal exposure, but less active than Epstein, right? And so the more photos you can show, the more testimony you can bring forth to show that they were closely connected. And again, that's why the pilot's testifying, that's why the housekeeper's testifying, right? You need to show that these people were connected in mind, right? And that's why criminal exposure here is going to be so vast.